very fine performance in Lootere. Of course, your performances are always fine, but especially in this one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
How much did you watch?
Yeah, I watched only 2 episodes so far.
Right, right.
I reviewed it, but on the basis of 2 episodes. I guess your role will further expand and for the better.
Yes, yes, it will, in many new ways.
So in your vast filmography, which is like over nearly what, 70, 80, how many films?
Well, it should be around, maybe less, maybe 50.
Okay, so how do you rate this role of yours?
This role is fantastic. Yeah. So, in these 50 films or whatever I've done, uh, I don't think I've had such meaty characters very often.
Yeah.
So I think Lootere is an exception in that sense. It's a really meaty role. And, everything changes when you have a role that offers you substance. When you can sink your teeth into a character and get the real juice out of it, then it's more fun for an actor at least. So I think Lootere gave me that opportunity.
So what I mean, like, how would you describe Jay Mehta as a director? Is he, how much of a father's son is he?
I don't know if he's his father's son or not, but he's a very, very good director. Very good director. And I really look forward to his career, which will span many years and decades, I'm sure, and make many good things in the future. Because, it's not about the technical brilliance or the knowledge of the craft that people can learn. Though he's very well versed with that. But I'm saying it's not just that, it's about your passion more than anything else. It's about your perseverance. It's about how hard you push yourself and your team to achieve an idea in your head. And I think Jay has got all of it.
But I mean, like, are you yourself a fan of pirate dramas?
I don't
Though
know,
of course it's not really only a pirate story. Yes.
but I don't know what is a pirate story. How many have you seen? One? So I can't say I'm a fan of. Yeah, it's not like a separate genre.
No, but in India, it's almost, I mean, it's the first of its kind.
That's what exactly. Even internationally, there are not that many made. So I can't say I'm a fan of that genre. There is no such genre. Uh, but I would say it's a thriller, and I'm a fan of. It's actually more of a gangster thing than a pirate thing, as you will see further. I think it follows the tropes more of a gangster film and a thriller than anything else. And yes, I'm very fond of gangster films. I'm very fond of thrillers. Yeah.
You are a noted filmmaker yourself, but when you are an actor, I mean, does the director in you take a back seat? How
Completely.
an actor you are to direct, or I mean, when there's a young director like Jay Mehta, are they a little in awe of you?
It doesn't matter whether it's a young director or an old director, a first timer or a veteran. When I'm an actor, I'm just an actor with anybody. And I'm a very submissive actor. I try and do my job well. I definitely don't try and tell them what to do. But on the set, of course, I try and hope to become a part of the larger image and the director's vision. And that is what everybody's attempt is as the crew, that you try and achieve a single goal, which is the director's vision. Uh, so yeah, as an actor, my job is then to provide options, suggestions that maybe, Jay, we can do it like this. Maybe I can be standing when I'm saying it. Maybe we can play this kind of emotion. And then it's up to the director to choose. No, 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 don't do that, do this. And then you follow orders.
Yes, and I mean, like, last time I think you were in Chandigarh, which is where I live. You had made some, you were a little angst-ridden about OTT platforms, where you said that there is no place for indie films on this. But
Which is
as an
even more true now.
yeah, more true now. Yeah,
Yeah.
with all the big players joining in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, of course, people go gaga over this medium. But what does it do to a fine actor like you? I mean, like, You got recently you got several opportunities as an actor on this platform,
As
right?
an actor, it's amazing. As an actor, it's I think a great time to be around because the kind of roles that are being written for series were not being written earlier. So you didn't have these opportunities. Now, as an actor, it's phenomenal time for a lot of my friends and for the whole fraternity, acting fraternity. It's a great time.
For you personally as well.
For me personally, I would not have got a role like Lootere or, or Tanab or call my agent or or even scam.
Yeah.
There would be no scam if there was no OTT.
But you've been a part of some blockbuster movies, whether it's Kapoor and Sons. But do you still think that the role that would really tap your talent is still eluding you? Of course, there's been Peja Fry and all that.
I don't know if there is one such role, which is
Okay.
I have no aspirations for that one role that will where I will prove my mettle. No, there is
Hmm.
nothing like that. But one hopes to leave behind a body of work which altogether uh, means something.
But considering that almost every day a new star is born on OTT,
Right, right.
what do you think of? What do you make of that phenomenon?
It's great. It's great if somebody like Jaideep Ahlawat becomes a star. I think it's very good because he's a phenomenal actor who would not have gotten these opportunities if there was no OTT platforms. So thanks to these platforms, somebody like Jaideep or Ashfaq Khan or Pratik Gandhi or Vijay Verma, and many, many more, or even Tilottama Shom, let's say, who's got a new
Yeah.
lease of life because of this.
No,
Uh,
even actors like Shefali Shah rediscovered on OTT.
or Vivek Komber in Lootere, he will
Yes.
become a star after this,
Yes.
definitely. So that's phenomenal, you know, for for a lot of these actors. And then they will have better choice in choosing roles, what they want to do, how they want to expand their careers.
But when one looks at your career, I mean, there's one film that kind of remains on your mind is Monsoon Wedding, though it came a long time back. How significant do you think that film was?
That was my first film as an actor. So that
Was that the first one? Okay.
it was my first film. So at that time it didn't matter to me, and I wasn't looking for a career in that as an actor. So it didn't matter to me anyway. That's I think the advantage I've had that I never wanted a career as an actor. This was not my plan. It just
Uh-huh.
kind of happened to me. So I've not been uh, bogged down by should I do this or not? Will it enhance my career or not? That has never been my problem. I've been more free to choose the way I want.
But so when you were training in FTI, you always wanted to be a filmmaker?
And that's right. I studied film direction.
Uh, you won three national awards. I mean that's quite a bit.
Right.
So how much do such prestigious honors, help you in firming
Because
up
nothing
in the
else.
industry, or is it the box office that matters?
It's only the box office that matters, for obviously, as you all know. But the awards are good because it means something. But at the end of it, Nonika, one does not work for awards. One does not work for money. One doesn't work for box office. None of this matters. What matters is that you've done something which will outlive you. So that's the only thing that matters.
And for this particular career, this particular part in Lootere, where you're the captain of the ship, were you familiar with how a captain operates, or
No,
I mean,
not at all.
so what were your referral points really?
There were no reference points. My reference point is always a script, and only this.
And at this point, obviously in your career, I mean, like any role comes easily to you.
It's not that nothing comes easily and then everything comes easily. It's not about, there are no difficult roles in that sense. They can be physically challenging. Like I was talking to somebody and telling them that last year somebody offered me to play Nehru. Now that would have been challenging. because that's a living person. It's a person that everybody knows. They know what Nehru sounds like. They know what Nehru looks like. So that would have been challenging to play because then you're playing a legend, a real person. Uh, if it's a fictional character, then there are not really challenges of that kind.
So Nehru also reminds me of another actor who's played every conceivable politician there is, and his name is almost the same as yours. How often have you been confused with the other Rajat Kapoor, and is it
It doesn't happen anymore.
annoying or amusing?
It doesn't happen anymore, but it happened a
Yeah.
lot 20 years back. A
Yeah.
lot.
So was it annoying or amusing? Because he's a
It is
fine actor.
always been amusing. And Rajit is a very dear friend. And every time we meet, we hug each other and say, "Hey, namesake, hey, namesake." That's our greeting. He's been a very dear friend, and we laugh about it all the time. But no, it was never annoying. It was always amusing.
But as you look back, I mean, at your journey and the journey of Bollywood, so to say, I mean, like, what would you say about your personal journey as well as how much has Indian cinema evolved?
Indian cinema has not evolved in the ways that it could have or it should have. Uh, that's always been a regret. Uh, but I think it has to do a little bit with the people who make films and maybe a little bit more with people who watch films. Uh, because I think finally cinema will change when they will get a more educated audience. I mean, cinematically educated audience who will desire better stuff. Then maybe cinema will change a little bit. But that will not happen in the next 20 years. It will happen. It
So
takes,
how can it change? A lot of credit is being given to OTT for changing audience tastes.
how? What? You tell me. What is changing for the OTTs? You tell me.
I mean, like people are watching documentary films. Of course, again they fall mostly in the
They
thriller
were
genre.
always watching them.
Yeah.
Earlier, they were used to be film festivals. They used to be film societies. You know, in the 70s and 80s and 90s, film society movement was a huge movement. Uh, in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Kolkata. It was a big move. And people used to go join film societies to be able to watch international cinema and documentaries and all kinds of things. So it's not that these things were not there. So even now, if you have a documentary and there is an audience watching a documentary on OTT platform, the numbers are still limited. People are still watching. You know what they're watching. I don't want to name shows and films. So they're still watching that. And so, because people are watching that, the producers want to make more of that, whatever that is.
So who can how can they be educated? Who can educate them?
I think it has to do with the general level of education. And I mean, starting from primary education, you still have uh, people who have not finished school or college, and I think about 30% or more of our population is that. You know, when your population is fighting for sanitation and drinking water and
Yeah.
food, I think it's unfair to think of these people as wanting high art because art comes much later in that
Is the
desires.
topmost at the pyramid? Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I'm saying it has to do with all of that. Your basic population has to be taken care of in terms of these necessities first before we
So
can say.
your cinematic education happened mostly at FTI or prior to that?
Prior to that, with my father, because my father was a big film buff. So we started
Okay.
watching films with him at a very early age and watching really good cinema. And by the age of 16, like I was telling you, I've joined a film society in Delhi at 16 in college. And suddenly at 16, I was introduced to Bergman and Fassbinder and Herzog and Godard. And it blew my mind, you know. So the credit that you're giving to OTT platforms now is not entirely true. People manage to watch what they wanted to watch at all times. And that was my introduction to world cinema and something that propelled me to be a filmmaker. And I went to Film Institute at the age of 24 uh, and started my filmmaking career from there.
And FTII changed you completely?
It didn't change me completely, but it taught me a lot. But like I said, I was already on this path, on this journey.
Right.
So I was already open. So it's not that it changed me, but I was open to change itself. But the 3 years after FTI, when I worked with Mani Kaur and Kumar Shani, were two great filmmakers. Kumar Shani passed away just last month.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't that your first film? I mean, like with Kumar Shahani?
As an assistant, and I also did a small part in it, but
Yeah, okay.
that doesn't count. I was working as an assistant.
Okay. Many places, I mean, that film is counted as an actor also as your first.
Because I'm in it. So on Wikipedia, I suppose it shows.
Right.
But with Mani and Kumar, I worked for 3 years as assistant. And I learned, and that changed more than FTI. I think those 3 years were crucial in my learning about cinema and everything else.
And where else would we see you in near future?
There's a film I made last year. It's called Everyone Loves Surah Vanda. It's a murder mystery. The film is ready and will be out soon. And as an actor, I've done a couple of interesting things. One is called Khauf, which is a horror series, which I'm very excited about. That will come out this year. And then there is Tanav 2, season 2 of
Right,
Tanav.
right.
That is just finished.
So were you finally happy with Tanav because Fauda was such a big hit in India?
I've not seen further, so I have no points of comparison with what was done before. But I don't know how Tanav did, but I'm telling you, Tanav 2 is good. I'm excited about Tanav 2 at least. I don't know about the first one.
But are you a fan of episodic thrillers? I mean, do you wish Lootere had been streamed
I
all
don't
at once?
watch. I don't watch anything.
Huh?
I don't watch anything, so I don't know if I'm a fan of this or that.
Okay, you don't watch anything.
I
Okay.
don't.
Now you stopped watching? Is it now that you stopped watching? You had your fill early on, huh?
No, I never. I mean, series I don't watch any. Films I watch sometimes.
Films you still watch. Okay. Oh, what's the latest that you watched?
I watched The Holdovers and The Monster
Okay.
cinemas. And before that, Oppenheimer. So, yeah, few films.
And okay, last question. What would you tell your, your fans or admirers? Why should, I mean, in case they have not yet caught up with Lootere, why should they be watching it?
Please watch it because it's a really well made show. It's a show that we are all very proud of. Everyone associated with the show is very proud of it. And I think it's really, really, really well. I think you're going to enjoy it. Please watch Lootere.
Okay. One takeaway for them should be?
From Lootere,
Yeah.
you'll have a lot of fun watching it, man. What more do you want?
Okay. Okay. Fun is one takeaway. Yes. Right, right. Okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Rajat, and a pleasure talking to you. Yes.
Thank you very much and wish you all the best.